Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode corporate filings so you don't have to. Today we're diving into a proxy statement, which is like a company's homework assignment before their annual shareholder meeting. Think of it as a sneak peek into what your company is doing before you vote on it. Get ready for some boardroom buzz because this one's got director elections, executive pay, and even a request for more shares, which is like asking for more allowance. This proxy statement is from Willdan Group, a company that's all about helping communities with energy and infrastructure. They provide technical and consulting services to make things more efficient and sustainable. This document is essentially their way of asking shareholders to vote on some key decisions. So what's on the ballot? First, there's the election of directors. These are the people who oversee the company. Then they're asking to ratify the appointment of their accounting firm, Crowe LL Tunde Accession Number. The board is recommending and all of their proposals. They usually do. Now, it seems Willdan really cares what its shareholders think. They actually reached out to a bunch of them representing over 50% of their shares to hear their thoughts. This year, they wanted to get ahead of investor questions about corporate governance and compensation. What have they learned from all this chatting? Well, stockholders had some concerns. The company says they responded to stockholder feedback. They've entered into employment agreements with all their top executives, capped executive bonuses, and worked to identify ways of lowering their clients' greenhouse gas emissions. They're releasing an updated sustainability report soon too, showing they're listening on the ESG front, the measurement of environment, social, and governance factors. All right, let's check out the financial highlights. Revenue is up at $565.8 million, adjusted EBITDA, which is a profitability measurement after subtracting some items that may make results look not as great, shows $56.8 million, and cash from operations looks good at $72.1 million. Moving on to the folks in charge of the company, all 7 current directors are nominated for re-election. The board boasts of gender and ethnic diversity. They say they aim to obtain representation of individuals with diverse skills, qualifications, experiences, and perspectives. Let's talk money, but this time for the executives. Their compensation includes salary, annual bonuses, and long-term stock awards. The name of the game is pay for performance, dependent on financial and business achievements. The company is keen to point out all the things they do. They have clawback provisions for bonuses, meaning they can take back money if something goes wrong. They solicit feedback. They have an external compensation consultant, but they don't do things like promise guaranteed bonuses or provide tax gross-ups, whatever that is, nor allow employees to hedge their stock. The company is serious about ethical conduct and corporate governance. The company also has a written related person transaction policy, which means deals between the company and insiders are reviewed by the audit committee. This is to prevent people from using their position inside the company to enrich themselves. Let's peek at the bill from the auditors, Crowe. Audit fees were $935,000 both this year and last year, and audit-related fees were $30,000 this year. Here's some important info for those of you who trade stocks. Company policy prohibits hedging activities, so if you work for Willdan or sit on their board, you can't play games to protect yourself against losses in company stock. They also want to make sure that all of the stakeholders are doing the same by enforcing the policy across the board. Time to vote. They're proposing an amendment to their 2008 incentive plan. They want to increase the number of shares available for employee grants by 150,000 and extend the plan's term by a year. The goal here is to attract, retain, and motivate their workforce. I'm sure employees would agree with that. Now, zooming out for a broader assessment, Willdan seems to be navigating a growing market. Demand for municipal services is way up, as they seem to be in a strong financial position with smart expansion through strategic acquisitions. They do acknowledge risks, especially from cybersecurity threats. They've got a cybersecurity team, use third-party consultants, and even have cybersecurity insurance. And of course, in this day and age, they have ISO and SO certifications. The disclosure indicates how their named executive officer's compensation has changed relative to the organization's performance. It is very important for a company to have balance with their performance results and to keep their executives aligned. Keep in mind there are always potential risks, which could include completing projects on time, competition, economic changes, and attracting the right talent to get the job done. So based on the data in this proxy statement, Willdan seems to be on a solid track, actively engaging with shareholders, growing revenue, and improving their processes and culture. Of course, it's important to remember that no company is without risk, and these are just snapshots in time, and also to have your own assessment of whether their targets and company structure make sense. That's it for this corporate decoder. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into the world of corporate filings and finance.